friends, welcome to PySpark video tutorials. Today's session we are going to cover on creating a RDD in PySpark and the basic standard functions which we are going to frequently using functions. I am going to give an introduction to those functions. So while creating RDD, there are different ways we can create RDD. So using a list or arrays, we can create a RDD. And reading from files, so reading from any files, any JSON file or CSV file or text file, so we can create a RDD. Reading from Hadoop HDFS files, we can create a RDD. Reading output of SQL queries, Hive queries, that output you can create RDD. And reading from normal database queries also we can create RDD. So there are different ways we can create RDDs, and there are other functions you should know. One is a help function, will give the complete manual about your if you are creating RDD. If you give a help, it will give the complete manual, what are the methods are available and how to use those methods, and with examples they will give you that. That's called help function. And another one called directory. So this directory, for example, if you are creating RDD, then after creation of RDD, if you want to use any transformations or actions, maybe you forgot those transformations actions, instead of going to Google or somewhere, so directly you can check with the directory. It will show available methods for that RDD or data frame or whatever you have created, data set. So let's start with one example. Okay, so here I have a Jupyter. So whenever you are running Jupyter in PySpark in local system, so you have to first initialize this PySpark. So you have to first import this module name called find PySpark. Then we have to initialize. So this initialization, you can give any parameter here. That's a path where you have a parameter like a home path, like a Spark home path in any environment variables. If you're not giving any path, if you leave it empty, it will take it as default. It will take it as default Spark home path. That's called why we are setting this in Jupyter means. So we are initializing PySpark here. So that is the first thing you have to do whenever you are doing first time in Jupyter notebook. Okay. So how to run these commands? So there is two options. You can use this option or you can control enter. If you press control enter, see the command execution ID changed here. You can see this. This is the execution number. So frequently it will change these commands, how many commands are executed here. Now there is no errors, it is executed. Then after that we need to create a Spark context. So first time whenever you are running in local system, if you are running in Azure Databricks, so default one Spark context will be created. There's a default one. So you don't need to create specifically, but here we need to create Spark context. Because it's a local system, we configured the PySpark. So if you want to use a PySpark, first we need to create a, first we need to do initialization, and the second one we need to create a Spark context. So how to create a Spark context means, first you have to import the module that's called PySpark module, that's called Spark context. Then we need to create a Spark context. This name you can use any name, but I'm using a standard name SC. SC means Spark context. You can easily identify that. It's because if you have a project, there are multiple variables, data sets, data frames, RDDs if you are using, so you will get confused those things. So SC, so default you can identify it's a Spark context, or you can mention Spark underscore context. The full name you can use that. So this is the Spark context dot get or create. This method I'm using this, and I'm printing that. After that I'm checking this created or not. So just control enter. It is, see, this is a Spark context available. This is a master cell. Then if you want to create RDD, so if you want to create RDD, so different methods I told you can create using a list, okay, or create from a table another SQL output of your any SQL queries or any data file. So here I am using one list. This is a Python list, and I am using a parallelize method. So whenever you are creating any RDD, so if you are giving some static values like user defined values Normally this we will go for unit testing. So whenever you are doing unit testing, that time we will go for this all things, or any values, declared values, static values if you want to declare, that time also we will go for this. So this, in Spark context, there is a method called parallelize methods. So you know this Spark is working as a parallelism, right? So this parallelize method, default method, we will be using this creating RDD. So I'm creating a values here. Like you can create any values. Just control enter. So it is created. How to know it is created or not? Then you can just use any method that's called any actions or transformations. So this I'm using a sum. Sum means this total values, it will give us some values. This is action. It is star means still running. So it is my local system. I'm running in my local system. Sometimes it will take more time because of system performance. That's why if it is taking more time, it will show as a current running is a star here. Then see, if you want to use other actions, minimum, maximum, these are actions available in this already. So this max is 8, min. So like this we can use actions as well as transformation also we can use. See, then there are this are numbers. I'm created with the numbers. I'm creating other with characters. Okay, it's a text. So same parallelize method I'm using. Here I'm using another one called distinct. Okay, so let's run this. So first one, this print I'm collecting. So collect is also a one action. So it will display the whatever the available values. And first one will display these 3 values. Still it's running. See this. Yeah, now it's done. So second one, this y I'm using as a like distinct, right? So I have created first RDD. On that RDD I have selected as a distinct. I applied this distinct and created another RDD. Okay. Then both outputs I am printing here. So if you want to know this type, is this data frame or is this RDD or is this variable? So just you can, so if you want to create another cell, you can click on plus. You can use a type here, type of X. Control enter. It is RDD. Okay, and type of Y is a pipeline RDD because we created this one from this. Okay, and if you want to know this available methods for X, okay, just use directory. These are all available methods. This X RDD we are using distinct, right? And we are using collector. Like this, how many things we can use here? These are all the things. See here, coolies, cache. So we can use count. These all are our transformations and actions, whichever is available. This already you can see this all are union values, take. Okay, so like that we can go for using any transformation or any actions. So in future sessions I will cover all individual list of transformations and a list of actions which we are going to use in projects. But this is the introduction session, the basic commands which we are going to use, which you should know about. One is a directory which will give all the methods to your RDD or your data frame or whatever it is. Another one is help. Help will give you all the methods with syntax and examples. If you look at here, there are many things. See, collect. It is giving with the information, complete information with examples. So if you don't know, like if you forgot something, if you don't know any of the syntax or parameters or variables, whatever you are using that, And if you want to know exact syntax and how to use that, for example filter, so how to use a filter, so like here you can say this, created a RDD and applied filter, finally collecting that, so like this. So help will give a complete manual, that's called help, and directory will give all the methods which is available to that RDD or data frame, whatever it is you have created that. Okay, this is the default 2 things you should know about. Okay, and as I told that different ways we can create a RDD, right? We can create from file also. So this is the text file, it is available in my local system. Just control enter, so it is executed, and you can use the collect. So collect also action. There is others like first means it will show only first record, it is running. Now you can see only first record is the header. Okay, so collect will display every record. So like this you can go for. So these are all the transformations and actions. So this actions and the transformation we will cover in future sessions. So list of transformations and actions. This is a basic introduction how to use a PySpark in local system. So just rewind whatever we covered. So first, whenever you are using a PySpark in local system, you have to initialize your PySpark. That module, first you have to import the module find spark and initialize. So initialize, if you're not giving any parameter value, default it will take a Spark home environment variable value, or you can give any variable any environment variable value, or some other parameters also you can use for the initialization. And the second one, whenever you are using a context, a Spark context, so you have to create a Spark context here, because the local system you need to create manually. That's using a PySpark module Spark context, and then I'm checking that it is created or not. It will give the complete. And creating RDD, the RDD you can create with static values with a list or collection or a dictionary. It's like all Python type collection or list or whatever you are going to use. And you can use the transformations actions on top of that. And another one is, there are 2 methods or functions you should know about this. One is a help, another one is a directory. So directory will give a complete list of methods available in that RDD or data frame, and help will give a complete manual and a description related to available methods in that particular RDD or data frame. So here this is the X is RDD, same thing data frame also it will give. So like this we can go for using this Jupyter notebook to work on your real project for development. So thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel to get more videos and updates on my channel. Thank you very much.